All right, today we are diving into something that feels straight out of science fiction, but it's very, very real. We're talking about building a startup MVP by putting together an absolute dream team of specialized AI agents. Agents who can bring your idea to life faster than you ever thought possible.
So, you've got that killer startup idea, right? The one that keeps you up at night. But the clock is ticking. You need to build a minimum viable product, get it into the hands of users, and actually prove your concept. The only problem? You're stretched thin, short on time, maybe short on cash, and you might not have all the right expertise on hand. It's the classic founder's dilemma, and let's be honest, it's a make-or-break moment for any new company.
But what if you could just flip that whole script? What if you could instantly assemble a team of experts? I'm talking developers, marketers, the whole crew, who work 24/7, never get tired, and are 100% focused on your launch. Well, that's the revolutionary idea behind this new framework of AI agents that's been dubbed the agency.
So what is the agency, really? It's not just another AI tool you're going to play with for a week and forget. You know, it's more like a super-powered recruitment agency for your startup, giving you instant access to a whole roster of AI specialists ready to go.
Think of it as a massive collection of AI personalities. And these are not just generic chatbots. Oh no, these are highly specialized agents, and each one has a unique skill set, a really distinct way of communicating, and a laser focus on delivering actual, tangible results. We're talking real code, detailed marketing plans, the whole shebang.
And this is where it really clicks. We've all been there, right? Typing in a generic prompt like act as a developer and getting back, well, pretty generic results. But with the agency, you can call on a senior React developer agent who not only writes clean, efficient code, but actually follows industry best practices and can even give you suggestions on how to improve your UI. That right there is the difference between a simple tool and a true collaborator.
And we're not talking about just a handful of these agents. The agency has a roster of over 142 specialists, and that's growing. They span a dozen different fields, from core engineering and design to really niche areas like paid media and even game development. It's literally like having a full-service agency on call 24/7.
And this is where it gets really fun. Check this out. This isn't just a generic design agent. This is the Whimsy Injector, an AI with its own specific creative philosophy. Its whole purpose is to add those little touches of delight that make a product feel special and memorable. This is the kind of specialized expertise that can take your MVP from just good to great.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. How do you actually use the agency to build your MVP? Well, the framework suggests you assemble what it calls a strike team. So let's meet the 5 essential agents that are going to form the core of your launch crew.
All right, here's your MVP dream team. First up, you've got your front-end developer, the master of user experience, and the back-end architect, who is the brains behind your whole server-side operation. Then you bring in the growth hacker. That's your secret weapon for getting users. The rapid prototyper keeps momentum going with lightning-fast iterations. And finally, the reality checker, who's like your guardian of quality, making sure your product is polished and ready for prime time.
So how does this all work together? Well, your developers get to work building the core product. At the same time, the rapid prototyper is churning out these quick and dirty proofs of concept for new features. This lets you test out ideas without completely derailing your main development schedule. And of course, before anything sees the light of day, the reality checker puts it all through its paces, making sure it's bug-free and ready for your users.
Now, this all sounds fantastic, right? But you're probably thinking, how hard is this to actually get started with? The answer? It's surprisingly easy. Let's just walk through a quick installation guide to see how you can plug the agency right into your existing workflow.
Getting started is literally as simple as 1, 2. First, you generate the right configuration files for your favorite coding tools. Then you run a simple installer to get everything set up. That's it, no joke.
Step 1 is just a single command. You run this little script and it does all the heavy lifting for you, automatically formatting all those agent profiles so they work with a whole range of popular developer tools. It's kind of the secret sauce that makes this whole process so smooth.
And step 2 is just as easy. You run the install script and it basically works like magic. It automatically finds all the compatible tools on your system and then just asks you where you want to install your new AI agents. No manual configuration, no headaches, it just works.
So for example, if you're a Cloud Code user, the installer handles everything. It just drops the agent files right where they need to go. It's a true set it and forget it kind of experience. And it's the same deal with other popular tools like Cursor. The installer is smart enough to adapt to your specific setup, whether you like a global installation or you prefer a project-by-project approach. The whole thing is designed to make your life easier.
Now, as exciting as all this is, it's really important to keep our feet on the ground. This isn't some magic silver bullet, and there are definitely some important things to think about before you dive in. So let's take a balanced look at the pros and, well, the things to watch out for.
So what are the big wins here? First off, these agents are incredibly good at staying in their lane. You won't find your copywriter agent suddenly trying to write Python. The communication system is also top-notch, which allows for really clean collaboration between agents. And the error handling is an absolute lifesaver. If one agent gets stuck, the task is automatically reassigned, so your project doesn't just grind to a halt.
But, it's not all perfect. You'll definitely need to keep a close eye on your API usage, because there's no built-in cost management. Also, for really simple one-off tasks, the agency can feel a bit like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. And remember, these agents have a one-track mind by default. They only know what you tell them in that moment, so you have to be crystal clear with your instructions.
So what's the bottom line? Think of your AI agency as a powerful sidekick, not a replacement for your human team. They're absolute rock stars at handling the grunt work. The boilerplate code, the first drafts, the repetitive tasks that eat up your day. But when it comes to the big picture strategy, the creative vision, and the final sign-off, well, you're still the boss.
The agency is so much more than just a tool. It's a whole new way of working, a new way of building, a new way of bringing your biggest ideas to life. The power is literally at your fingertips. Your team is ready to go. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?